I'm sorry, we're growing up with the past and safari. You're searching for all the answers, which means you're leaving my side. Your parting is better when served with honey. Write me letters and then the quill drops down, you down, you drops down, you down. Little 2 cents, a pocket defense. And a leaf fast, giving my condolences. Just know that I feel like I'm wasting time with the truth and a lie. So you left her and called me your friend. Think you lost sight, you needed some innocence. So lonely, feel like I'm wasting time with the truth and a lie. I faintly remember there was a time you forgave me. Might I just recommend my service is relentless. So call me out when you're lost and I'm lonely. I'll apprehend you ever so slightly. It's time to make amends with God. Little 2 cents, a pocket defense. Better leave fast, giving my condolences. Just know that I feel like I'm wasting time with the truth and a lie. So you left her and called me your friend. Think you lost sight, you needed some innocence. So lonely, feel like I'm wasting time with the truth and a lie. Show your pride. I'm sorry, we're growing up with the past and safari. You're searching for all the answers, which means you're leaving my side. Your parting.
We're in?
Yeah.
Oh, Timmy's song didn't get to play all the way.
I don't know why I did that, but yeah.
Oh, well. All right. What up? What up, fam? Hey, yeah, welcome to today's live stream. It's our mid-month live stream here for our Patreon form reviews. We're going to get in on those. We have a couple of those lined up. Mikey's got this new sweet setup that you guys can't see right now. He'll do a video on that. We've spent our first overthrow money back into overthrow. So we got plans. Our lives are kind of, hey, Zach. Our lives are kind of hectic at the moment. I just became the director of tennis at the club that I coach at. So we've got a video coming out sometime in the near future that we shot yesterday. We got plans for the end of this month. What else do we have going on?
I have no idea.
Yeah. So
I've got a busy
we're
month.
good. Yeah. We both got busy months, but we're going to keep after it. I don't plan on my new position. I don't plan on that ruining overthrow. So I'd rather quit what I'm doing as director and do overthrow than vice versa. But it is good for me to direct and learn how to manage and lead things like that. So it's a fake work Wednesday. All right, we're going to get into it. I don't think... Yeah, there was stuff that we could have talked about, but I didn't mention all of it. I couldn't remember all of it. I didn't write it down. So we're going to get into it. Ask questions along the way. We've got a sweet video coming out. I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but I'm going to say it. We got a sweet video coming out, a collab with Ben's Big Drive. He'll probably be on here in a minute. I'm sure he always pops on. So make sure that you guys sub to him. And we got a cool little series that we're going to work on with him. So yeah. What do you think about this Mania Mutant? I don't know. I haven't thrown it. Okay, so we're up. Here we go. Jerkwagon, you're up first. First in the box. We're going to start here. all the way from the beginning. Take it back. Take it way back.
Take it away, Buckman.
Bachman. I'm trying to remember what that watching through one time. Let's go with the super slow-mo. I slow motioned your slow motion. All right. And I know this guy's been putting in a lot of work because I see him on Discord all the time. Our Discord is crazy right now. Okay. So, first thing I'm going to address, and I mentioned this a lot last time, is that when you start, if you're going to have hand on the disc like this, which I really do like this. You see people like Simon does it, but the hand's going to be back here, actually. Right? Let me clear this and clean it up. The hand should be back here so that the disc is in front of more so the left pec. So that's a quick little tweak that you can do so that when you end up rotating and all that good stuff, it's just going to go from left pec. It's going to stay in front of the left pec as you open up. And then it's going to come back into the left pec through the power pocket and then back open. And so it doesn't have room to travel across the chest. And it's going to eliminate some pulling opportunities for you. And we're big time into killing the pulling opportunities here. So I'd get that offhand all the way here with the disc so that you just create your box early. Right. And again, if you want to see that in action, Simon Lizotte does that big time. And his videos have been ridiculous recently, by the way, Simon Lizotte. So watch some of his cool stuff. Uh-oh, Robbie C's back. Oh, what did you put as the thumbnail for this? Is it the same one?
The thumbnail is the same.
The Wizard.
And the title is The Wizard Returns, ?
Oh, that's why
Yeah.
Robbie mentioned that. Okay, so that's just a quick thing that I would work on. Sweet, Mikey's got me a disc. What is this, a PDX? Invictus. It feels like a PDX. Did they just like...
Sharp, right?
Yeah. Did they just like redo the PDX mold that didn't take off? Which was a great disc, by the way. Oh yeah, Robbie, your new haircut does look sick. That thing looks tough, dude.
Oh, dude.
That thing looks tough. He looks like a...
Don't mess with Robbie.
Did you ever watch Reign of Fire?
No, I have no idea what that is.
Okay, if you watch Reign of Fire in the chat, you'll know what I'm talking about. But I'm trying to remember the actors there. It was Matthew McConaughey, right? You should go full Matthew McConaughey Reign of Fire. That would be so tough. That'd be so tough. Everyone would listen to you. I mean, they're already listening, but you go from like the nice grandpa to just like the destroy.
Yeah, Christian Bale.
That's right. That was the other one.
That
was so fun. Okay, let's check out the footwork here going forward. Good job keeping this cross. Super good job. You get to stay in the club so the hips don't open up too early. Checking out the upper body as we go here. Let these hips, or let this, just make sure that as you come through, this is natural and coiling. You're doing a good job of it. And let's see here. This is where kind of my first dealio is. This, I'm going to break down what you need to work on into two parts. I sneaked a peek at your video before we started. So the first one is this foot. Open. Things committing secret crimes. Kevin. All right. So get that front foot pointing away, right? And if you have to try to make it so that your heel's pointing backwards to the target, don't change this foot at all. That's perfect. But if in your mind you have to exaggerate to get that back foot, your right foot, with your kind of more heel towards the target, exaggerate it. Make sure that happens, because right now your hips are already opening up because that front foot opened. And then what happens down the road is, I talk kind of about the golden hour, right, where everything with these that you see with the pros is their shoulders, their hand, their shoulders, and their hips all point to 10 o'clock, roughly 10, 11 o'clock, somewhere in there, right? That's the golden hour, right? But because you opened up your hips early, your hips want to rotate even further, and they end up wanting to come here. Your golden hour is ending up being at 12, right? Your arms straight. Your hips are straight forward, right? So since that foot has turned open, you've over-rotated and you've passed where the 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock hit should be. Hit, release, whatever you want to call it. Whoop. Whoop. Someone's asking about too early reach back. This is okay. This is, okay, maybe suboptimal, but some guys do this where they wait for this front foot to hit. Right? I wouldn't worry about fixing that at the moment. Right? And you know what's actually going to help is our next video on that. So I wouldn't worry about that yet. Right? You're right. Who said that? I don't know who said it. Oh, the Mario 18. You're correct that it's early. But I wouldn't worry about that right now. So I'm just trying to figure out what the most important thing for him to fix is, and I think it's right here, this foot. Don't let that hip and foot open up right here, because you're going to lead too early. So, and then you can worry about, this later. And you've done a lot of work with the upper body, like super, super, super kudos. Nose up for sure, right? Again, nose up versus nose down, important. But you have to work and get the correct release point, and it's got to be out here towards this 10 o'clock position before you can even change that, right? Because if he tries to get it nose down in front of him at 12 o'clock, going to be some issues first. So let's get that foot closed up. Let's get that foot closed up is the first and probably only thing you need to work on at the moment so that we can get our release point correct over here. So that's the big thing, I think, for you. Yeah, there are other things, and I don't even want to say a second. I don't even want to give you option 2 or what's next in line because I want you to work on that specifically. But that's your biggest thing right there. But you've done tremendous work. I remember watching you a couple weeks ago where you just pushing and pulling and going nuts on it, right? So this looks much more measured. I can tell you put some work in. Good stuff. Make sure that foot is staggered. That'll help with closing the foot. Yeah, the foot gets staggered because the weight is here towards kind of the toes. All right, that's part of the staggering. Is if you put the weight towards the toes and you have the heels go first, it'll be staggered, right? But if your weight ends up going backwards behind your body, no matter what, it's going to be, your feet are going to be in line with one another. Right, so the more over your toes you are, the more this line will come out this way. Right, and for the very simple reason, I'll go ahead and use the other pane here. Right, for the very simple reason of if you're here and if you're somewhere where you can stand up, you can just try this. But if you're here on your, like with your weight on your toes, try to take your next forward step and put it behind you. Right? If you were moving forward with any speed, you'd basically fall over, right? The most natural thing for you to do here is if you're going to take a forward step here, or like a sideways stride, is for you to put it in front of you to get your balance, right? Now, for experimentation purposes, put your weight towards your heels, right? And now try to take this forward step with your here, right? You can't do it. you'll fall over, right? If your weight's towards your heels, this forward step becomes impossible for you to keep your balance on. So nobody does that. If their weight's back, they always do this. And this gets in line or even behind sometimes. Right? So the weight's got to be forward. And it allows that.
On Anheuser?
On Anheuser, you would. On Anheuser, you would be walking up same direction, right? But your weight would be further back, right? And you'd be going like here.
Got it.
Right? But you're still staggered and you're still pushing off of this toe. The left toe and the right heel end up working together there to create the balance. And they go. Okay. Next. Select. Where'd you go? Let me take you out of here.
Get to leave.
Yeah, and then once you if you want to drop some footage after you worked on it, you know, cool deal. But give that a little bit. Let's see. You guys going to address my form on this live stream? I might miss it as I need to cut the grass and lift. What you lifting? Weights?
Who is that?
That's Mike B.
Mike B.
We got you.
Mike B.
We got you. Can you do it right now, Mike? So the stagger is a good symptom of weight on the toes. Yeah, absolutely. And it's a natural. That's the thing, is it's a natural symptom of weight on the toes. You have to do something unnatural to create the stagger if your weight's on the toes. Now we're in 2 hours. Well, let's do it now, because we ain't gonna be here in 2 hours. Here you are, brother. I thought that was Ben for a second. Let's get into it. Dang, this guy looks tough. Doesn't he look? We got some stout dudes here.
Yeah, don't mess with this guy.
Bro.
Don't mess with anyone named Mike. That's all I gotta say.
Okay. In the chat, how tall do you think this guy is? I'm gonna go. He's kind of stocky. You think he's tall? I'm gonna go. He's definitely taller than me. 5'11".
I was gonna guess either 5'11" or 6 foot.
Well, now you got to guess something else.
6 foot. 6 foot.
6 foot. All right, Mike. In a couple seconds, tell us how tall you are. Oh, 5'11". Dang, that guy's tall. He's twice as tall as a house. You're right. That's a one-story house plus the roof. So we're looking at about. We're looking at about 38 feet. All right, we'll be looking out for that. Okay, now into the serious. Okay, first, love this. Love that. One thing that I'm curious to see as we go through, and I haven't looked at your form yet, is if this is, your hand's kind of like here, right, where it's maybe 6 o'clock. I'm interested to see where the hand ends up getting throughout the throw. Because some guys have it a little further back on the disc. But we shall see. I like the simplicity of it. So here's, I know I'm stopping a lot. But you see the stagger step here and the step forward and how you're not getting your weight over. Some guys take a step on their heel. What I'm looking at is weight distribution and balance. Right? If we just look at you here, it almost looks like you're falling back. Almost. I'm just making guesses before I see stuff. But I'm interested to see where your weight distribution ends up. Yeah. So this is, I think you're going to do a 3-step, right? Yeah. So here's what's really important is watch how your weight, how your upper body ends up shifting outside of this leg. I should probably watch the whole thing first, but I'm already making guesses as to what's going to happen. See, this is really tough for people to keep this weight inside with this. Yeah, and then, yeah. So this is, what we talked about in the walk-up video. But, okay. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm going to watch this. Okay. Well, the good thing is that I was right. I should have watched it just to be sure, because what if he had like crazy flexibility or something, and I don't know. But no, you did what most people do in that position. All right. Here's one thing. You're coiling well with the upper body. Let's just point that out first. Like, you're doing that well. Oh, Mike, he's 6'3".
Let's go.
Dang, what did you say?
6 foot. I don't know.
Oh, 6'6", 6'2", 6'1", 5'7", 6'2". 6'2" is the closest. Maybe needs to lift some weights. Yeah, this guy's... I'll tell you what, though. Upper body, decently solid. Like there are things that I would fix, but you're really focused on rotating through here and making sure that, you know, the disc starts here. You rotate back with the shoulders. You're not pushing the disc back. I really like that aspect of your throw here. One thing I would say, and I would work, this is something that's probably going to be decently easy for you to fix, which is why I'm saying it, which is why I'm not worried about overloading you, is right here, your arm is going to want to continue to go back. And you're keeping it bent here, right? There's a little bit of tension here. It looks to me. I could be wrong. I could be seeing incorrectly. It's hard for me to engage with your body at the muscular level through coach's eye. But it does look a little tight here. Just keep it loose, and as you go to rotate back, let the arm straighten out if it wants to, right? If it doesn't want to, that's fine, but it looks like you're stopping it from rotating back, right? And maybe it was in an attempt like to really not punch back or anything like that, so I get where you're coming from. But super solid. Even if you left it like this, you'd be okay. Like, if you don't want to address this until later, no worries. No worries at all. But yeah, let's talk about this. I would recommend spending some time on the walk-up video that we did, but I'll go ahead and tell you here as well. You've got this, when your weight gets over here, on the outside of this left leg, when your body comes over here and your leg's still behind, it allows your hips to open up and it allows this foot to go backwards. I'm not going to say that it causes it, but it allows it to happen. It makes it really easy for you to do it, right? But if you're here, and at this point, if you're more so on the toe of your foot, instead of rolling to the outside of the foot, then we can keep that weight inside the framework of the legs. All right. Because from here, with this foot doing what it's doing right now, your weight's going to fall backwards. Your hips are over-rotated. Where's the line? That's not a very good line. I really need to work on my hip drawing in placement. But your hips are over-rotated backwards, and your shoulders are probably good, right? But at this point, let's watch just the hips here. All right, boom. They could be doing a bit more, right? But their range is limited to the footwork. And this is also why your front foot, you've got one foot going this way, you got the other foot coming kind of this way, so they're kind of open in reference to each other, right? So they open a little bit early. You're not really torquing them to get the Tension is due to focus on nose angle. Word. Yeah, eventually you'll want to work that out of there and get it loose. But that's definitely a stage, like meticulous, mechanical, and then eventually you'll learn to smooth it out. So I got no issue with that. Mike.
I'm gonna get some water. If
Yeah.
you want to demonstrate,
Grab some water.
then just 3.
You did it already? Okay, we're demonstrating.
Oh no, I just was showing you. If you wanted to.
Yeah, so go ahead.
So 2 and 3.
3.
You want some water?
I'm good. All right. So when you do this, it's your foot's coming here and you're going, and now your weight's over here. Even just for a second, when you do that, it allows this foot to go backwards, like we mentioned in the walk-up video. But dang, this thing does feel like the PDX. I bet you it's a rerun version of that. But anyways, it's better if you get here to keep this weight more over this left leg, right? And to hold this weight kind of back. Some people like Paul do this by popping this hip out, right? And it keeps the weight back here. So I might recommend that if you're going to continue to do this, to keep your weight back here if you're going to do this walk step. And then when you get here, with your weight back like this, it makes it a little harder to do this because it just puts some strain on your knee if you go that way. It puts strain on my knee anyways. So here, you can pop that hip forward, or you can think about leaning kind of backwards or keeping the weight over this left leg and then go. And from here, we can load this left leg and go. And then rotate that sucker in there, as explosive as you want to do it. My mobility sucks. I think the only way to get my left foot left backwards is a crow hop. Do you think it's worth practicing that? I really like the crow hop. I really do. That's the other solution to this problem. Is you go here and you go boop, and it forces your weight loaded into the left leg. I really like the crow hop. If you can do it, I like it. And then later, after the crow hop, since you have the feeling of the weight being loaded, it kind of exaggerates the loaded feeling, or maybe it does it properly, and then you know what that feels like. Then you can do it just as a walk-up because you already got the feel. So I definitely recommend that. 100%. Mikey got some Mike and Ikes?
That's what's up.
Yes, he did. I think the only way to get my left foot less backwards. Yeah. I mean, your hips don't look super mobile. Like, they've got a good spread here, but yeah. Anyways, crow hop. I'd go for that. I really think the crow hop is underrated. Underrated for sure. I had a conversation with Paul at one point talking about this. And this is way back in the day. Way back in the day, like, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago. I don't know. Do you also crow hop on really powered down / up shots? Probably not. But that's a different story. So I think the good thing is to kind of learn the full move. And then just instead of doing an upshot, maybe do more of a full move with the putter first. And then, you know, you could either do it as a standstill with like a mid, or you could do it as like a run up with a crow hop with a putter. You just got to find out what kind of range you're working with and how you want to do that. I'm in favor of not changing the form in the beginning and altering the disc choice until you get that form kind of down, because that's going to be your standard off the tee and stuff like that. And then you can learn to, you know, walk through it. But right now, I think in the field, I'd just go crow hop. And then when you're ready, go into the walk like Eagle does. Yeah, so that's my thing. That's my thing there. And I go into a lot of depth on the walk-up video if you got any questions on that for sure. But this is the thing that I think you need fixed right here, and it's caused by your weight. So weight needs, during the entire throw, you need to feel like you're over the left foot the whole time. And then this might even solve itself. But yeah. That's what I think, Mike. That's what I think, brother. Go lift them weights. Or mow that lawn. Whichever one.
It's so much fun pressing buttons.
Yeah. Okay. Who's up next? Who is here? Oh, we got Kevin here. So let's go into Kevin.
Also, you've got free reign over.
You were about to go into a story about talking to Paul about the crow hop. Yeah, I mean, he just said, you know, it is a hop. And at that time, Steve Brinster was doing his thing. He said, you know, people call it the Brinster hop. And he's like, but it's not the Brinster hop. It's just, I mean, it is the Brinster hop, but it's just like, it is more of a hop. That's the point he was making, is that it's more of a hop than it is, you know, a step through. If you step and you do it kind of nonchalantly, you get that weight going weird directions. It happens for a lot of people in the beginning. So yeah, that was it. Okay, Kevin. Let's go to the backhand first. I'm going to try not to overwhelm you, Kevin, because I know you got that tournament coming up. Okay. So, secret crimes, right? This foot right here is already trying to turn too far backwards. Secret crime territory here. That's Kevin's phrase, by the way. He coined that. That's in our Discord, so we do that. See, so right now we've got hips, shoulders, you know, not coiled here. Now we've got hips backwards. Shoulders here. Now we've got hips here. I know that there's a lot of lines. I should have probably thrown up different lines. Holy lag-a-moly. Now, Kevin did let me know, though, that the one thing about this net is you got to be careful that this little red square here doesn't make you feel like throwing down into it. That's more of Kevin's advice than mine. But I would agree. Yeah, so I think this is more of a feeling thing. But try to feel like your right hip socket is here throughout the throw. All right, let's do it like this. Oh, I gotta remember not to like whistle. That would be.
Here's some ears.
Yeah, I know. What? Simon Lizotte.
Lizotte?
Lizotte. Simon Lizotte. Who said that?
Who said that? Who would say that?
Oh, here's an example of what I was talking about too. See how Simon's weight is kind of, he's kind of keeping his weight back, and he popped this hip kind of forward to make sure that happens, and he's got the walk-up step. He and Eagle both do this thing where they take this long step, but they're able to do it because they're keeping that weight back. Anyways, that's just a little bit. So what was my point in coming here? Oh yeah. Not that Simon Lizotte throws further than us. Lizotte. I better start saying his name right, because I'll end up saying it wrong permanently. Lizotte. what editing program are you using right now? We are using Coach's Eye. It's an app. I think it's like $5 or $6. Buy it, use it. Super helpful.
We need a sponsorship from these guys.
Dude.
They don't even know, bro. We need to get sponsored by Coach.
Okay. Here's what I was trying to do. I want to go here. I just want to look at his right hip as he goes through. Right, so he's here. Right, you see how your hip is kind of pointing this way? It's kind of angled, it's kind of pointing this way. His is still pointing that way. Right, here. And with this step here, look, his hip's still basically pointing that way. Right, step here. Yours is kind of pointing this way. Boom, and then it tries to correct itself to go this way. All right. Ooh, let's see. So here it is. Here's how far his hips get back. Boom. Right. That's maximum. That's as far as his hips get back. Let's see here. I'm trying to find a point that's further than this and make sure that I'm... Yeah, that's it. This is it. This is maximum hips turning from the target. Right? Your maximum hips turning from the target probably right there. Probably here. Right here. Where they're clear away, right? All right. This is good because you both do have like a big stagger here. Now, two things. I mentioned earlier about someone else's foot being here and then their other foot being like more this way. Hip flexibility. Simon's been doing this his whole life. So he can have, you know, the angle coming out like that a little bit. He's allowed to do that because he's got hip flexibility that allows him to do that and still rotate, right? Most of us don't have that hip flexibility. So if you want to call me out on that from earlier, that's fine, but that's why I'm recommending these feet be closer to parallel for most people because most of us are not him. Boom. Right, so let's check out the feet. Right, in terms of the back foot, not that crazy. Boom. Yeah. So here we go. Let's go back to here. Back to the secret crimes. Boom. Yeah. Right. And so this foot is at that kind of 45 off here, which is one of the little things that I threw down. We have got to, dude, we have got to put out a, like the walk-up image.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We got to do that.
So
Yeah, we've got to put...
We could even use that as like a source we could pull up too.
Yeah.
Like show in the stream.
Yeah, we've got documents and stuff that we want to do and upload to our Patreon and stuff like that. And eventually we'll have a website for you guys to reference those things. And it's going to help make my private lessons a little more direct and inline. Stuff like that. Yeah, Joel Freeman definitely is an exception. I think maybe... Yeah, there are a couple exceptions. They get away with it. Just hit my personal best today, 436. Dang. I focused on eliminating the back foot pointing backwards by doing the crow skip, sorry. Yes, that's crazy. Both of his feet are pointing out and both of mine are pointing in. Yeah, you kind of did the pigeon, like the pigeon thing here, right? So this sets up a lot of stuff, right? The feet set up the hips, etc. But you can also think about the hips and pointing that hip forward, right? You can think about it two ways, and whichever one gets you doing the right thing is probably the right way for you to think about it. Right, but you can think about this hip going forward the whole time, right? So it's way more of a sideways stride, boom, and just the hips come off just a little bit, right? And then you have this stuff here. Oh, I'm in the right spot. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just changing
Right.
the exposure.
If you let the hips turn around, if you think about the hips turning around backwards, then automatically I even do that. I take this first one here, right? And now my butt cheeks facing the basket.
Not the butt cheeks.
Yeah. Not the butt cheek. Right? But if I think about, my hip going towards the basket, that might be a good image for you. Boom. Just to keep this thing, or basket, about 12 o'clock, or about 11, I guess would be more accurate, right? But don't let the hips go backwards. We don't want to show off our butt cheeks. Kevin, are you turning that right foot closed on the first step because you're already thinking about how you want to keep it from going forward on the plant step? I'd have to read that like 3 times to understand what that is. Hold on, I'm just not very smart. Kevin, are you turning that right foot? Are you turning the right foot? So that's left. Here's right. So are you turning the right foot, being this foot here, close on that first step because you're already thinking about how you want to keep it from going forward on the plant step? Oh, I get what you're saying. Because he wants to make sure that that foot doesn't go whang here, right? And open up like we see a lot of people do. That's a good question. Wondering if he's trying to prevent the secret crime but doing it too early. Yeah, I got you. I roger that. Yeah. That's a good question. Yeah, because he still does it a little bit though, right? So it's still opening up a little bit. But here's my train of thought, is if you get the hips turned too far away here, the hips are going to have to come back.
You've only got this if you want to address them.
Oh.
Apparently, I wasn't charging it like I thought I was.
Oh, okay.
So the battery's exhausted.
We lost that other cam, so.
But yeah. If you want to show the stuff, we'll have 2 separate screens.
Yeah. So the hips, if you end up turning them back, right, and you want to rotate your hips in the shot, what's going to happen is this foot's going to have to open more. You're going to have to do that, right? So I think if you over-rotate the hips back, you have to open this foot more and more to make this possible, right? So if you think about, instead of kind of going at it with the hip, then the hips don't have to rotate as far forward to energize the shot. So you don't end up having the problem with this foot. That's my train of thought anyways, is the hips have to rotate to make it happen. If they're back here, the only way for them to make it work is go boom. But if they're here, they don't have to go that far. You can still rotate them into the shot with a closed foot. Guest appearance, Mikey.
I don't know if I don't have any extra batteries.
Oh.
Because
the system is down.
Funny enough, Connor has my batteries.
Oh, Connor.
For this camera.
Oh. Yeah. And this could be, chicken or egg thing. Like, is it the foot or whatever? That's why I'm trying to get into the thought process, because you can fix this different ways. But I think the best way to fix it... yeah. Ding dongs. You're strong, babe. So anyways, I think the best way is to kind of change your mind towards kind of hips. And just try it. Even if you have to get your hips going full on 12 o'clock and don't let them rotate away at all, do it. Exaggerate it. And maybe, in some cases, if you're in a field and you work on it, then you actually try to keep the hips more open the whole time. So instead of pointing there, maybe we go open. Whoops, that's the opposite way. Maybe we keep the hips even forward more, right? That way we have more coil with the upper body and less less over rotation with the hips, right? They're actually under rotated, but then you'll end up probably meeting somewhere in the middle. But that's my recommendation. And we can talk about that on Discord if you have any questions there, Kev. Let's go there, and then let's go to the forehand. What time is it? 3:39. So how long do I have?
Until 4:30.
4:30. Okay.
We're making good time, right?
Yeah. Is that an Iron Man shirt? Is that what that is?
That's what it looks like.
Either that or it's just like one star of that thing in Zelda. Cool. Hesitated. Yeah, I'm glad you submitted too. Yeah, we'll talk on Discord if you have questions. Okay, here we go. The forehand. I'm trying to sneak a peek at this grip here. Okay. And what we worked on in our private lesson was not letting this weight slip forward too early. Here's the hop. Good man. Good man. That's some good work right there. Yeah, so what you guys don't know is that we had a private lesson and this weight came forward way early. Now, hold up 1 second. Maybe I renege on that. Maybe I don't renege. No, this is good. This is good. Here's the deal. Boom. Okay, I see what you did. So you fixed this problem initially because what was happening is so what was happening was he was coming here and he was going and he was stepping over right away, right? And once this weight gets here to the front foot, you can't use the hips, right? You can't force the hip open when the weight's over the front leg, right? I mean, you can force it open, but you're not getting any power from it, right? So it's all kind of, dang, this thing feels good, bro.
You like it?
It feels like the PDX.
It's so
where it's the PDX, bro.
Massively overstable.
But the PDX was, anyways. So now what you're doing is you're here and you've got this hop and you're here, but the disc, you end up starting your wind, you end up winding with the upper body as this goes. And so then your weight ends up here anyways, because your wind up, with the arms starts a little late. Let me show you here a comparison first, and then I'll show you on the demo screen. So I can show you what I'm talking about. Here we go. I mean, it's hard to compare anybody to Eagle, but we're gonna do it. Let's see here. Oh, don't want to hyperlink that yet. Come back here. Okay, so here. Or let's go here. Right foot down. And the sequencing on this is a little bit difficult. Okay, so let's go here. And here we are. Okay, so whoop. So here's the thing, is here, I want you to look at your arm placement, right? Because this is a timing thing. At this point, Eagle's disc, basically when his left foot steps here, the disc is kind of, I wonder if we can do it like this. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, the man. You guys didn't think this happened on the forehand, did you? You didn't think this happened on the forehand?
Oh.
Dude.
It just stays in place.
Dude, I'm telling you. Look at this. Here it is. With this left step, the disc is staying in place here, right? And then he's got right foot goes down, disc still in place. And here he's extending his body. It looks like he's pulling the disc back. No, sir. No, sir. He's extending the body forward as this leg goes. And now his arms, you know, everything's loaded up top and ready to go. And then boom.
Sorry.
Right? Oh, we're back up. Yeah. So now I can do it since we have this video.
Hopefully for
Yeah.
amount of time.
What, you didn't think that happened? I got to do that part again. You didn't think that happened on the forehand? It does. Right? So now let's check. So boom. I'm sorry, Kevin, but you're probably not going to line up with eagle here. Right? So now your disc ends up trying to kind of stay here. Boom. See that? So how does that help you? Right? It doesn't. I just wanted to show you. I'm joking. You need one of those blue lines in your backyard. Yeah. You know, what you could do is you could find a tree. Right? You could find a tree and grab onto that when your left step goes and feel it, you know, stretching out your arm. So, and I mean, hey, who says it has to be a blue line? Tree. It's an ugly tree.
It's beautiful.
But okay, let's go into the demonstration. So, and as you come forward, you come here with this step, right? Whatever you do up to this point to keep you loose, right? But the guys do this, they go. Let me get into my full walk up. My forehand's kind of intuitive, so I gotta think, right? Yeah. So here, I keep it here. I'm sure eagle does something similar, right? But the disc is kind of in front of left chest. Here again, same thing kind of for the backhand. But as you come through, here's my step before my last little boom, right? Here's my step. And at this point, we're holding away from us like this, right? So we're keeping the disc out in front of our chest here. That left step goes, and then we're gonna move past the disc here. And so my arm is gonna go whoosh. The disc is staying here, and I'm stretching forward, right? And that loads, and then so all you gotta do is go whoop, and then you have that extra little, and this pulls the disc from in front of your elbow, and then you have the elbow go forward, right? It creates the disc lag on the forehand. So we go. Man, it's weird showing forehand form. Stick. And now your hop that you work so hard on and are doing correctly, but we're keeping the disc here. Boom. And the disc is staying here. And then we start this whole chain of events that happens where we swipe and, open the curtain with the left hand. And the chest is opening up. The hips start opening up. All that good stuff. Boom. And then the last thing to yoink is the disc. What was the app name again? Coach's Eye. Coach's Eye.
I already put it in the chat.
Oh, okay.
You're going wrong.
Right? So, you end up having you end up kind of pulling with the, here. So instead, disc here, leave it in place, and let your arm come backwards to leave it in place, right? Boom, and that's gonna get you the load, and then when the foot hits, you're gonna be ready to go. Right, and then same thing, yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that, and then we can talk more about your forehand later. I don't wanna overwhelm you with things, but I'd work on that because you've done great work here. Right? This was I know when we met that this was, a struggle for you. So, good work on getting that taken care of. Okay, who do we have left?
You're solo in this.
Okay.
You gotta take this phone call.
Yep. Mikey's gone, boys, so I'm just gonna screw everything up. Here we go. We got Johnny Wags here. Okay, we're good. Let's see, it's already in slow motion. No, I gotta slow it down. Oop. There it is. Okay. Let's back it up. Whoa, what the? Oh, okay. Watching here. Good. I'm looking at the footwork. Just want to be careful with this, that the weight okay, so he does get the weight back over the left foot. Decent. Yeah. And we can do this because it's really good video quality. So we can zoom in this much. Watch the weight here. Go from the toe backwards, right? And he starts settling into kind of the heel. Right? Instead, you should just keep the weight there, right? Keep it on that toe, keep the weight over that toe, over the leg, because you have this just a touch here, right? And this foot's trying to open up just a little bit and all those things we talked about already. How to make that happen. What you see is you see guys do this where they walk up basically this side of the T-pad, and then once they set that last foot, let me change the color on this. Wait. Once they set that last foot kind of this way, then their walk-up line changes here for that last step, and then they're kind of here, right? Because now their hips are going to rotate back, their weight's going to be forward, right? But your weight ends up coming backwards a little bit off of this foot. Get that weight forward on the front of the toe, and then it'll kind of naturally want to come here. And if it doesn't naturally want to come there, then you got to work on it a little bit. Make sure that this toe or the heel gets kind of pointed more this way, right? More targetward, more in line with where you're throwing. Right. That way these hips don't open up, right, too early. Right, yeah. And the reason, you see how his body wants to fall this way? That comes back to here, right? It's preparing the weight to fall back this way. Okay, so that's the first thing I would look at. And these are, don't have to be, big fixes. I'm not sure if they will be or not, or how much you'll struggle with this or not, but I'm going to give you a couple here because overall the form looks kind of quiet. I like the, the mindset looks slow, kind of deliberate, little crow hop here. I dig it. The upper body, you're rotating, I think you could probably be a little looser with the upper body. This looks pretty tight to me, right? And that was the idea behind the twirly bird video, is that this is kind of fluid, right? That the disc wants to come, in and out of the chest and do its thing, right? So I'm just going to say overall, be a little looser, especially on the upper body. I know you're trying to make things happen correct mechanically, but it's probably time to start figuring out what happens when it's a little looser. Just looking here when the disc comes out, right? yeah, you're kind of aiming to 10 o'clock and whatnot, but the issue is that your hips aren't lined up for that, right? So you're going to lose power because your hips with your step are lined up to throw this way, right? And you know that you should be throwing kind of that way towards the 10, 11 o'clock is what it looks like to me. I could be wrong here. But it looks like in your mind, you know, you've been watching our videos and you've heard from other people probably and watched some pros that, you know, the disc is supposed to come out here. I'm also wondering if this is an active release here. You see how your hand opens up here? It's hard to say, really hard to say. But yeah, it opens up and it stays open. You want to make sure that's clamped down so that the disc, you know, rips out of the hand on its own accord. What you see with guys is when they're done throwing, the hand ends up being closed, right? It opens, but since they were keeping the hand closed, it closes back right away. Awesome, Brandon. Glad to have you, brother. So yeah. And these are just kind of quick things. The reason I'm giving you multiple things and I didn't give other people multiple things is because they're just some mental things to wrap your head around, and those might not take very long, right? It's not like a muscle memory thing for all these. Yeah. It's not bad, though. It's not bad. It does look like a bit of an active release, though. And then I think the nose issues, I think address that kind of at a later time. Get these hips doing the right thing. Get this footwork doing the right thing. Yeah, so I'm going to give you two, actually meaty things. One is what we talked about with the legs. You know, get the weight on that toe so that this foot wants to stagger forward. Don't let the weight fall back. If you need to take a smaller step to make that happen, take a smaller step to make that happen. And then the other thing is this left arm is a dead arm, right? It's just rotating. So I don't think the left arm, I saw somebody online say this week that the left arm is like an advanced move and, you know, it's really like the last thing to fix. I really don't think that that's true. And if somebody's telling you that, maybe run away. I don't know. But the left arm being thrown in here is an idea to get the left side going. Right? So I'd throw it down and I'd throw it down early. What happens first, if we're just going in order here, first thing that happens, left arm gets thrown. Second, a close second, is the hips go. And then the last thing is the disc goes. That's 3. Now it looks like it's 7. I can do that better. Hips go. Boom. And then the disc is the last thing to go. You know, you might be able to say it's a 1, 2, 3 sequence there. Right. So get the step corrected, and then to start this whole thing, get the left arm going. Be aggressive with the left arm coming down. Right, down and forward. We did a video on, you know, hip engagement, and that's why that arm drill is there, because I really think that that starts the whole thing. So, and I think we're going to be much more on top of that in the future, in the disc golf community in general. Okay, so boom, there's that. Last up, Brian. Wait a second. No, okay, I was thinking about something. That was the, are you recording? Okay. Now this is kind of nitpicky, but if you have somebody else holding a camera for you, thank you for all the people who hold cameras for us when we don't have tripods. If you could kindly ask them not to follow you, but just to stand far back enough, because you got stupid good like quality here anyways. So have them just stand back far enough to hold it in place and catch you during the whole thing, just for the future. What's up, David? The David?
Oh yeah.
The David.
Yeah.
Okay, let's check out the footwork. Okay. So we're doing like a 4-step. Yeah. So just take this right foot and just go straight ahead with it. Right, my arrow's not super accurate, but go straight ahead with it. This right foot doesn't need to come, you know, around this left foot, because if you start stepping this way, then you're going to want to start turning your hips. That's just a tendency thing. Doesn't mean you will do it. That's just people's tendency. Right, so instead of, you see how this is crossing over already? Boom. Right, so I got a feeling we'll be seeing a little bit of hip crossing over. Yeah, so again, this is too far back. This isn't the best angle, but his hips are here, right? So this is kind of similar to Kevin and how Kevin had his backhand going, right? Where he's turned way away. And we've got the stagger. Now, here's the thing about the stagger. Look at how the direction changes, right? He goes from walking up. He starts here, walking up this way, and then he starts slowly turning with each step. See? Boom, boom, boom. And now his last step is going here. Right? My question is, how did we get there? Let me make sure it's not the camera playing on tricks on me because it's moving like that. It could be. But what I see for sure is that this foot, right, opens up. And if I just look at your body, this is a backward step here in relation to how you were walking up and where you were aiming. Right, so we get back into the backward step. Right? And then check out this knee and hip right here. Start opening up. Right, because of it. And we've already parsed all of this out in Kevin's form review. Boom. And then you have this. Let me check out the end of this. Yeah, and then you have this left leg, this left leg getting trapped behind the right leg because of it. Right, and you do a good job of staying, you know, somewhat balanced. Yeah, so this isn't bad. Like, it could be way worse. Somebody's asking about rounding, right? Good there. Was it rounding? You know, it's really hard to tell because his legs are kind of dictating where he goes, right? He could, you know, rotate the shoulders further back, blah, blah, and then we wouldn't have any question about it. But yeah, I think your biggest thing is walk up. Just walk up. Right, so let's talk about walk up a little bit. Can you talk about head position? Funny you ask.
Oh, no way.
We've got a video coming out on that. That's our next video coming out. I don't know when Mikey's going to get to editing it, but tomorrow it's coming out. But maybe due to hip. Yeah, I already looked at that. So anyways, walk up. Basically, guys walk up here. Boom. boom, boom. Again, the hip kind of coming towards you the whole time, right? So we go here, here, start turning this away a little bit, but then we're going to stop here and the hips are going to get to you, right? Here, and we're going to do our last, boom, step. Now our hips are just off of you, just a little bit, right? Not all the way back, just off of you a little bit. Okay, boom. And then we go. And this solves a lot of the issues, right? A lot of guys are doing this. They're doing the full circle, and then they try to come back all the way through here, right? Because they start and they're doing the hips, this right hip specifically is coming too far around, right? Because they think they got to get everything back here away from the target, including the hips, and it's just not true, right? And it's almost better for you if your hips don't change at all, and then you just coil away from this, right? And then you'd end up doing like a wide rail or something like that, but that's beside the point. I'm not trying to get you to do the wide rail, but if your hips are here, right, and then you're just coiling your upper body away, but the hips are still trying to stay, you know, towards this kind of 10 o'clock position, this 11 o'clock position, because we're going to go boom, and we're going to rotate them there. So if we start with our right, you know, pelvic bone, or whatever's right in there, going here, pointing to the target, and then we're going to go whoosh, and now it's going to be 90 degrees off of that, because that's what allows both of our hips to get forward here at this 10 o'clock, and then we'll, you know, finish coming through and all that jazz, right? But you want this right hip going kind of the whole time, and then it comes back. Comes this way, right? So don't think that you got to get everything behind you, right? You don't. Here, it's all in this hip right there is another way of thinking about it. Is Josh a dad, or is that an ironic shirt? Hate to break it to you, but I'm your father. He does have a nice whip for being poorly lined up. Yeah, and that's the thing is, like, once you get everything going the right direction with the legs, it allows the upper body to do, you know, what it wants to do. And you don't have to try as hard. What's crazy is how much effort people put in, and how, you know, they overuse one part of, like, their how they will, like, overutilize the hips, thinking that, you know, I guess part of it's because we think, you know, we've got to use our hips, we've got to engage our hips, we've got to do this, right? And so it feels way more like what you would imagine pros feel when they engage their hips. If you turn them all the way away and then you turn them, you know, way over, it's like, oh, that's got to be a good move, right? Because I'm using my hips so much. But it's not about using your hips so much, it's about using them properly. Right. Are you replying on your phone? Or how's that happening? Okay, cool. So, oh, we don't have this. Oh, I'm not even staring at these people. Was that one?
Does not exist right now.
Oh, it died?
Well, it just keeps going in and out of dying. Every time I turn it back
Oh.
on, it doesn't have
Okay.
enough juice to, it's like charging it, and then it dies. And then charging it, and then it dies.
Yeah, so I just spend a lot of time really getting those things, you know, this right hip going kind of forward. See, look how Paul never gets his hips like all the way back, right? So when Paul thinks about engaging his hips, or, you know, what he feels, it's not anything like what we feel when we got our hips all the way back here, right? It's different. Right? And his hips really don't go that far back. Right? It's better for you right now to err on your hips not going far back enough than it is for them to go too far back. Really. So one thing that I did when I was trying to learn this is I would just walk basically straight forwards like this, boom, and just to make sure that my hips weren't, and then just make sure I'm rotating my hips and getting all that. Yeah, I'm open. Yeah, it's not, you know, the way it should be and all that, but I can activate my hips if I'm too far forward, right? I just yank it to the right, but that's okay because I can feel the correct things. And Mike will tell you, I was yanking stuff to the right for a long time, right? And I probably still do sometimes. But it's better to exaggerate this and walk up this way until you learn, you know, the range of motions that your hips and stuff have, instead of going like this. Right? So yeah. Oh, whoops. Okay, there we go. All right, anything else? We want to just grab that camera?
We could actually. I could. Yo, I got you, bro. Hold up. I'll just hold it like a video.
Oh, that'd be a bit for your arms.
That's fine.
No need.
As long as I'm chilling out.
The staggered plant sets the angle of the hips. Should not have to think about it, I wouldn't think. Right, but the staggered stance does set the angles of the hips, right? So if you walk up correctly, your hips should do the right things. But obviously some people are struggling with it, so I'm giving the different ways that you can work on it and think about it. Because some people it does help to think about that right hip. Some people it helps to think about the footwork, right? I'm a firm believer that the feet, you know, inform the hips and all that stuff. But yeah. Can I slide in a form chat? Doesn't need to be long. Looking to see progress from last form review, specifically on the brace. Just send email. That'd be up to Mikey. We don't have very long left, so I got to be out of here in the next 19 minutes, and I don't know what the setup's looking like right now.
Let's do it.
Okay.
So I go here.
From this angle, it looks like I'm like an old guy. Like just staring at, like, just give me the. Holy cow!
Who is it? Goodness gracious.
Oh, Ben sent one into. Well, we can't do all of them.
No, we cannot.
Today.
Oh.
Let's
Was
go.
It Eric?
Yeah, Eric just sent one.
He was the one who told us, so that's what we will do.
Ben, we'll put you and Isaac. Was it Isaiah? Or was it Isaac?
I don't know.
Benjamin and... it's got to be Isaac, right? That's just like...
Oh,
biblical.
gosh.
Oh, it's sideways.
Can't use that.
Wait,
I got it. It's all good. File.
You're at the mercy of Mikey. But if I look out here at the window, it's like... Secondhand Lions. It's like that movie. Where it's just like looking every night.
Alright, so then it gets sent to this bad boy. You go to edit, and then you go... yeah, hit rotate.
I got you.
And then you just do that, and we're good. And then, no, we're good. And you just go back to Porch's Eye. Going back to Porch's Eye.
You'll have to thank Mikey. He's shown mercy.
Wow. Beautiful.
Which one? Oh, it's this one, I think. Import. Okay, let's see it. Eric, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't remember everything we talked about last time. But we will see. Oh, it was footwork, wasn't it? Whoop, whoop. Right foot. Good. Right foot's good here. Nice hop. Yes, backwards. For sure better. For sure better. You see here that it wants to sneak open just a touch, right? It's trying to go open just a touch, right? And this is partly you keeping the weight on the toe here. Don't let it go back towards your heel, right? But it's for sure not opening like it was, right? Yeah, and if you can get on your toes here, this is going to inform the upper body. Hello. Oh.
Bro, this could be the new way to do this live stream.
You just hold it the whole time?
Seriously. And I can just like do my normal thing like I do for and you do the buttons.
That'd be a lot of work for you.
It's kind of fun though.
Right. So if you're able to get over your toes here, it's going to stop this pull. You see how the head's pulling and the upper body's pulling, so now you end up having, you know, an off-center line here. So the footwork's going to help you out here. Now you got to make the same thing happen, but there we go. So now, as this foot closes, you're closing the foot, but your weight's coming back, right? And if your weight comes back, it's really hard for you to get from here and to rotate your upper body and all these things. Right. So make sure that as this foot closes, this is going to let you keep your hips closed by keeping this foot closed here for a little bit. And now you got to go and keep your weight forward. Right? If you get it back here, then you have to go whoom and fall kind of into it. So that's what you got to watch out for. Now that you got that foot closed, and you got to go. And the goal of keeping this foot closed is so that we can rotate into it big time. Boom. And that's the dealio. I had a private lesson with Discmania Pro player Bartozzi. Well, it's got an S and a Z.
Oh.
Bartozzi? I don't know. Kowalewski. And he has zero reach back. My aha moment was watching 500 foot with no power, with just power of the hips. I was watching the last round of the Ledgestone Insurance Open, and Drew has such a minimal reach back. He just goes, boom, bombs it with a buzz. Okay, been working on box drill and twirly bird. Yeah, so the box drill and the twirly bird are stationary, right? So your balance is kind of set there because you're not moving forward, right? So what we have to do is as we move forward with our body, when we go to stop on that front leg, we want to make sure that our weight doesn't topple over the front leg, right? So we've got to control it and keep this weight back as we go forward. And then we got to, so that we can rotate efficiently. If we go here, we can't rotate efficiently, and the brace becomes, you know, useless. You know, and I don't think, like, we have to worry that much about a brace. Again, that's a whole different topic, but yeah. So the box drill and twirly bird are not necessarily walk-up drills, right? So when we add a walk-up, we're adding this motion, you know, exponentially. You can say there's a weight shift that happens during a standstill, sure, but it's not to this extent, so we got to be really careful. What? So yeah, box drill, twirly bird, great things. If you're going to add a walk-up, you just got to make sure you keep that weight over the left side a little more. And you really do got to feel, I know some guys who feel like they're like leaning backwards trying to make it happen. But, and maybe that's what the feeling is for you, I'm not sure. But we want to make sure that the weight stays loaded over the front part here, and that the weight's going forward. It lets us get into our legs more, right? When you get into your heels, you know, standing straight up, it's a little tougher to use the legs. I love the color of your walls. I like the color of your walls too, Mikey. So yeah, that's that. Kablamo. So should we just go through? And I'm pretty sure this is Drew throwing an Anheuser here too, right? Right, so you can see this. Right. Big, yeah. It's an Anheuser, right? But he's still kind of forward on these legs. Right? Let's go to someone else. This is Yuli. Again, I think this hole ends up being Anheuser, right? And so his weight ends up coming back there eventually. But still here, he's still over, right? His weight's still over a good amount. Even with the Anheuser, it's coming more to the side of his foot than it is to the heel. Right? Interesting. On a hole that we know is like that. Here's Paige. See, even her weight's going more towards the toes here, right? The heel's not the last thing to leave. Right. And then boom, she just rotates here. Dude, look at that. How does she do that? How did that not like snap her leg off? Oh, that's a forehand. All right. But anyways. Yep, weight's still loaded more towards the toes. So you got to get that feeling. Boom. Video on head position coming out tomorrow. Somebody asked about that. It's going to be a good one. Short, sweet. We appreciate you guys' support. We're going to get close to 10,000 subs here pretty soon. That's pretty cool.
So that's pretty
We're working on merch. We're working on shirts and stuff like that. We got to order some of those soon to try on and see. We're going to be a little bit picky about merch because we're both from the tennis industry and coaching and stuff like that. So,
where did your microphone go, bro?
oh, is it?
It's just
Oh, I thought you lost the volume.
folded, bro.
Yeah, but yeah, we want to get dry fits and stuff like that. We're working on them. Some cool designs. A little twirly bird design. Might do the pixelated design. Got some cool stuff. So anyways.
David is on his way to Maple Hill right now.
Oh, what's on this side? I just delete this, right?
Oh.
No.
Wait, what did you just delete?
I didn't delete anything.
Oh, okay.
I'll just do it like that.
What are you trying to do?
Oh, I thought we had another
what?
info behind here. Oh, we didn't. Okay.
Go all the way down?
All the way down. I'm down.
Yeah, all the way to the right now. And, yep.
Oh, this is the screen I was actually looking for.
Yeah, you're looking
So anyways.
You're looking for the analytics screen. I got you.
So, cool deal. Virginia guys need to play in. Oh, yeah, we got a bunch of our guys here in the VA. All right, you want to show them your setup, Mikey?
Oh, yeah. I can show my setup. All right, guys. This is the new setup. This screen is 38 inches of pure beauty. You're not even gonna be able to kind of like really see, but it kind of looks like it's floating because I got this stand. Anyways. And then we got camera A that ran out of battery there, so that's not fun. And then we got I don't know, a glass here. Here's my HDMI switcher. So if I want to switch scenes, I just do that. And then up to 4 slots. So yeah, that's some of the fun stuff we've been able to acquire via Overthrow. Oh yeah, and my MacBook Pro is over there. That thing is a beast.
Yeah, this is where some of the money from Overthrow is going. All those pennies that you guys give us from watching ads, they're here. All the Patreon money, not all of it, but some of the Patreon money here. We got some sick stuff lined up.
Oh my god.
That we got to confirm at the end of the month and make sure we're still good for. But It's gonna be sick. It's gonna be sick. I like that victim in your hand.
Oh, he gave it to me.
Oh.
That's why he
What's
said
up,
that.
Scott? Do you know, David, if this is just like a redone PDX? that they did from like World Tour a couple years back. Did I miss mine? Yes, you did miss yours. So you'll have to find it on the playback.
He's somewhere in the middle, right?
I think so. I'll tell you in a second. Yeah, he's like smack dab in the middle. All right, guys. Well, I got to get out of here in like 5 minutes. So, yeah, it's basically a PDX. That's what I thought. It feels like a PDX in my hand, which I love the PDX. I didn't know why it didn't make it into full run because it was like just a little longer, about the a little longer than the Firebird, but you know, you could put some beef on it. And Noah was going to come back. What to do about low dropped elbow when swinging through? Shots tend to go nose up. This is that's a pulling thing, probably, most likely, right? If you're here and then the elbow goes like this, it's because you pulled the disc across your chest, you know, to make it happen. So you need to box drill until you don't work the disc across your chest. I had that issue big time. It's a pulling thing, unfortunately, which is, you know, we all feel for your practice sessions, but that's probably what it is, bro. Probably what it is, bro. Absolutely. All right, guys, we're going to peace out. I'm going to get back home to my fam.
World's greatest papa right there.
My daughter twirled this for me today, so I'm wearing it. You could buy yours. I'm sure she'd give one to you for $20. Overthrow bracelet. So yeah, cool deal. Peace out, Girl Scout. We'll catch you on the flip side.